Hi everyone, in today's video we will cover useState, which is one of the most important hooks in React. But before we get into the video, I would massively appreciate it if you guys could leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It will help push my videos to more people and help the channel grow. And yeah, let's get in the video. Before we get in using useState hook, I want to demonstrate why we need to use it in the first place. So in our example, we have a variable count set to a 0 and we have a button that increment count. So what I want to do is creating a function and pass it inside an onClick event of our button, and this function is going to increment our count variable by 1. So if I come here and call our function, for example, increment count, this function is going to take the old count value and increment it, and it's gonna increment it by 1. Now if I pass this function to our button, an onClick event, and save the changes and start clicking, you can see nothing has changed. Our count variable did not get incremented. So you may think that our function doesn't work, but if I come here and console log our count and open our console and start clicking, you can see our count variable is actually working, is actually incrementing. So the problem is it doesn't show in our screen. Our count variable doesn't show in our screen. So there is no re-render when our count variable is changing. So let's see how useState hook is going to solve this issue. So the first thing we need to do before we start using useState hook is we need to import it from React. So the way we import hooks in React is we go to where we imported React and open and closing curly brackets, and then type the hook that you want to import. In our case, it's gonna be useState. So now what we need to do is go on the top level of our component and use it. Now the way we use useState is a bit confusing at first when you start learning it, but trust me, it's really easy once you understand it. So essentially, useState hook declares a new state variable. So the useState hook is a function that you need to pass any type of value to it. It can be, for example, boolean, string, array, or object. So in our example, we can put a number 0, and what useState is going to do is going to return to us two values. The very first one is going to be our state, which is going to take the value that we passed in as an argument in useState function, and the last one is a function that is going to change the value of our state. So what I can do here is destructure our two values, because useState is going to return to us an array of two values. So we can name our state count, and the function that is going to update our state set count, and you can name it wherever you want, but a common way to name this function is add set before your name of our useState. So this function set count is going to take any value as an argument and change our state to be that value. If I use set count in our function, I can put whatever value I want. So before we use the set count, I need to display our count state in a div, and let's see if I put, for example, set count to 400, and save the changes and click our button, you can see it's actually, you can see it in our screen. If I put, for example, a dummy text and click this button, you can see this text. So whenever we change our state in React is going to render our component and put the current value of our state. So remember earlier in our first example, when we changed our variable, it didn't change in our screen because our component didn't re-render, it didn't re-update our new value in the DOM. Unlike when we use useState hook, whenever a piece of state changes, the component is gonna re-render to show the current value of that state. So back in our example where we want to increment our count, essentially we put in our set count function the current count and add +1 to it. So if I reload our page and start clicking, you can see our count is actually incrementing, and you can see it in our screen. So in summary, the way we use useState is by importing it from React, and we put it on the top level of our component, and useState is going to return to us two values, which is the very first one is going to be our state, which is going to hold the value that you pass it as an argument in useState, and the second one is going to be a function that is going to update our state whenever we call it. And yeah, that's basically it. If you like this video, please subscribe and like it and share it with your friends. See you guys in the next video.